Hi guys. I'm not sure what day this is, but it doesn't matter anymore. I've been really enjoying doing these videos. It's not something I ever thought I would say, but I have. It's allowing me to be creative. It's allowing me to formulate these ideas in a way that I'm forced to as I understand it, explain it to other people, which is helping me understand the concepts even better. So now I had a huge bump in my subscriber count last night. I had a 25% increase, so I went from 9 to 12. So I'm extremely proud of that. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy the video. So I really do appreciate every one of you. So now today's video, as I spoke about yesterday, will be about water and the importance of water. And as I say that, it started raining today. This is the first time it's rained in weeks. It would seem the lawn's actually starting to die and stuff. So it's good we have it. And the importance of water cannot be overstated. It can't be overstated. It is critical. Now, why? The human body, as most people already know, is composed of 60% water. That's on average. Now, the actual bone structure drives that average way down because it's only 20% water. It's mostly crystalline calcium, as we know. So that means that the fleshy part, the brain part, a lot of fat in there, and most of the internal organs are really high percentage water. The parts that do the work for us, for this body, are water. The liver and the kidneys and the renal system are 80+% water. They're almost all water. Your blood is nearly all water. So obviously for that reason alone, it's important. But there's one study, a couple of studies actually. So there was a Japanese scientist, and he was studying the effects of increasing the vibration of water, is essentially how I would describe it. So what he was doing was playing pleasing sounds, pleasing music, like classical music, talking kindly to the water, anything where you could put a positive intention into that water, and then he was flash freezing the water as this was happening, and doing thin sections and examining them under a microscope. And the water that had this done to it had a pleasing crystal structure. It was organized, it was neat, it looked pleasing to the human eye. And if you did the opposite, you played random sounds, loud noises, aggressive things, the opposite was true. So it was less aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So what's happening here? Like, oh, hello fly. What's happening? There's other studies as well. So everybody's heard about classical music and plants and the growth increase that they get from this. Same concept. The plant is getting positive vibrations pumped into it. So the energy is just as important as everything else. Now, from the Japanese scientist test, we know that this high vibration energy can be held in water. So your consciousness is affecting the quality of the water that you're consuming. So what does this mean? Like, you want to incorporate the highest, as a spiritual being who's trying to raise your vibration, you want to increase you want to have the water as high at a high vibration as possible. It's free it's easy, and it helps. So how do you do this? Well, you can do what these scientists have done. You could play classical music for your water. Now I don't go that far. What I do is I put my gratitude into the fact that I have this water. I pray over the water. I thank the water. I'm grateful for its existence. Here comes a truck. Looks like it's turning around. Oh, of course. Anyway, we'll continue. I'm grateful for its ability to nourish me, not nourish, but provide the stuff that I need in order to exist in this world. The water is so critical. It's unbelievable. So I've prayed, I've put my intention into the water, and it looks like they're dropping off some picnic tables. So this method, this thanking the water for its existence and the what it's providing for our bodies, it also applies to food. Now, if you do the same thing to your food, it will taste better. If you don't believe me, try it and see what happens. The quality. He's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? It will taste better. Amanda and I figured this out when we were in Mexico, and we tried to start adding our intention to each time we had a food. So this is why people pray over their food, but pray over your water too. So we tried doing it, and absolutely the food tastes better. So it's got higher vibration, unsurprisingly. So your renal system, which is the system that your kidneys, which filters out a lot of toxins in your body, needs water, obviously. And as we start healing our bodies and giving them better, raising the vibration and eliminating the toxins from our food, and stop washing ourselves with chemicals and stop overloading our bodies with all these toxins, it will start to heal. It will start to spontaneously heal itself, and it will start to dump the toxins that have been built up in you, which are currently overloading the system. It'll start to dump them out and even heal faster. Now, the most, I guess, prolific system to do this is your renal system. It's the one, I mean, it's what you move the most out of your body in the run of a day, if you think of like a volume of water or anything. So you do it through sweat as well. And you will notice that if you start to heal and you expel these toxins, you might get a little bit stinky. Your sweat might start to change. You might notice it. I have absolutely noticed it. So now, if you're going to do this and you know you're getting rid of toxins, what do you want to do to encourage it? Drink as much water as you can. As much as you can. Like, stand. There's going to be consequences to this, as in you have to go to the bathroom an awful lot. And you do want to add electrolytes back. Salt isn't bad for you. It's not. Add salt to your water. It will make you feel better, and it will help replace any of that stuff that you're flushing out of your system as well. Amanda and I, we like to use AG1, which is a lot of trace minerals. It's organic. It's a very good product. It makes us feel better for sure. And we use it every day. Now, it's not necessary. It's a good luxury if you can afford it. But I've often used half salt, which is some other trace minerals in it, and I mix some of that in my water and squeeze some lemon in it, and that works just as well, I think. But I definitely am missing some micronutrients and stuff, which I think the AG1 helps us with. So The drinking containers. So, as I spoke about before, the amount of plastic and chemicals in our lives is unfathomable. Now, as I had my 3-day enlightenment, and post that during the soul boot camp, I was shown that aluminum is not great for you. I remember distinctly. I had I believe it was a can of beer actually, and I this is before I had quit drinking completely. I had one can of beer, and I drank it from the can and immediately got a headache. Immediate. And I thought maybe, oh, it's just me. I did it again. Immediate headache. So I poured it into a glass. No problem. Now, obviously, I spoke a lot about plastics in our lives, and same thing. I mean, if you've ever drank out of a plastic bottle that had been in the sun or been sitting for too many days, you notice a plastic flavor. Or if you've ever drinking out of a garden hose, like we did often when we were kids, you notice that rubber taste. That is microplastics. You're tasting it because it's off-gassing petroleum products into the water, and you're consuming it in tiny microscopic forms, and it's getting lodged in your body, which is not good. So I do not drink out of plastic unless I absolutely have to. And if I have to, because sometimes you're traveling, sometimes you just don't have a choice. You need water. It's more important to have the water than to avoid the plastic. But pray over it. Put your conscious attention into the water and the bottle, and it will help. It will help. The water will taste better. It'll taste less plasticky. You've assisted yourself in dealing with that before it goes into the vessel that is your body. So that's what I do. Like I said, I try to stick to glass or stainless steel containers, but you'll see the lid is plastic. So I often take the lid off completely and drink directly from the glass. Oh, there's a bug inside my glass. And again, if you have to put your lips to that plastic. You have to do it, but pray over it. So I've got a stainless steel. These glass water bottles are $3.25 at the dollar store here. I get, which brings me to the water source. So yes, in yesterday's video, I was going to fill up these bottles at a local spring. So the spring just happens to be about a 15-minute drive from our campground, and the water quality is amazing. And you know this because it's crystal clear, and cold as heck, which means it's coming from deep within the earth. So it hasn't had a chance to get contaminated with any surface runoff, and it's picking up these trace minerals that we all are missing from our filtered water at home, from the ground, from sitting in the rocks that it's coming up out of. So you take this water, and it's the highest quality you can get. I still pray over it. I still put my conscious attention into it, and it's the best that I can see. There's no plastic touching this. There's a little bit of silicone on the lid on the top, and that's it. It comes right out of the earth, probably 10,000 years old, and then it goes right into my body. And if you can't do this, because like during the winter I couldn't, you have to filter your water, because the domestic water sources are going to have chlorine. They're going to have fluoride a lot of the time, and you don't want that in your body. You want to get that out if you can. So like a Brita filter, something like this. We happen to have one on our fridge that's in line with it, but it's just a charcoal filter, and it takes those bigger particles out. It's not ideal because it's going to strip minerals out of your water as well. So you want those in there. So, like during the winter, I couldn't access this spring, and I used filtered water. Now, I took the fluoride out, which is also in toothpaste, and those are low vibration elements, minerals. Get them out of there. It's as simple as that. And if bottled water if you need to, try to use spring water. Don't use the filtered so-called better stuff. Get something that came right out of the ground, and if it's in a plastic bottle, transfer it into a glass. And then pray over it if you can. If you, like I said, if you absolutely have to, water is critical. You need it to live. So don't not drink water because you have no choice. Do the suggestions that I said. So, there are sources of water that spring that I'm referring to, it's a very good source of water, but I don't, as I said yesterday, I sense energy. I can feel it. Some sources of water are high energy sources of water. Now, that one doesn't seem to be in particularly high energy, but it's a high quality water. Now, there are springs around, and you often find shrines built around these springs that have energy imparted into the water. So for whatever reason, if it's the location on the planet, if it's the formation that the water's running through, if it's any of those things, if it's a holy person that's blessed the site, there will be energy imparted on the water that you're drinking. So there's a there's a spring near us, near our home. It's not near here, but near our home that has this type of water. Now, I first noticed this when we were in Mexico and we swam in a cenote. It's incredible. The energy in that water, you can feel it. And if you get in it, it gets into your body as well. So it's a way to supercharge yourself, which was wonderful. I'll talk about that whole story on its own because it deserves it for sure. We went to Chichen Itza, the pyramid, and then we swam in a cenote, and it was the most amazing thing ever. That'll be more to do with like energy, high energy places on the planet. So anyway, this particular spring, it's in a random area in the province, not in a big community, and a convent was built near it. And then they built a shrine around the spring. Now, I feel energy in these places. I feel it build up. I can sense it as I get closer. And as I drank that water, it was like drinking an energy drink. You could feel the energy coursing down as it was going down into your system, and then it filters into every cell in your body. So it's like you could run through a wall after you drink this stuff. That's the way I perceive it. And there's a reason that other people could notice this. So maybe some holy person or would happen to be by, or maybe the natives in the area knew about this spring, and then the holy person for the Catholic Church in this particular incident noticed it as well, and they built this place around it because it's real. The energy coming out of that spring is unbelievable. It's amazing. So that's water. That's how important water is for you. And there's some concrete things you can do to try to help keep your vibration high. So I believe that's it for today. I can't think of anything else to say about water. I'm sure something will come to me because it always does afterwards, but that's pretty good. And I think if you follow those steps and you try to get the best source you can and use the materials that are least reactive to drink it out of, it will help you. And drink a lot. As much as you can stand. Now, tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about meditation. So I've been working on it already, and I think I got a good handle on it, and we'll go from there. I have a few other video ideas as well that just came to me. But so yesterday I was talking about how I was struggling a little bit, and how the monkey mind was trying to take over, and I kept fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and it never stopped all last night. And Amanda had been struggling as well, not in that same way, but in a different way. And the energies that are going around this planet right at the moment, from various sources, are very, very high, and it's difficult to deal with. So when you're having to do those types of things, where you're fighting the ego constantly, and having to be diligent about this and use your mental energy to wrestle back control, it tires you out. It's just like running a marathon. So yesterday I was wiped. Yesterday evening, after doing that all day, I was completely wiped out. So had another broken sleep again. So this has been rough with the sleep thing, which is another video that we need to talk about. But anyway, we're doing good today. I'm not having this ego issue, and we're just going to take it easy and rest up for the rest of the day. So that's where I'll leave it. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.